Hi, Pacers fans, and welcome into another edition of the Sideline Guys powered by Gainbridge. Alongside Jeremiah Johnson, I'm Pat Boylan, and we have a new video portion of this podcast here coming for the first time this year. So if you're listening to us where you normally listen to us, head on over to the Pacers YouTube channel, and you can actually watch our podcast this week. And we are thrilled to be joined by Pacers rookie Andrew Nembhard. First of all, welcome, and this has been kind of a whirlwind of a opening 8 games from a Pacers perspective, 8 games in 13 days. You've played, though, over 100 minutes here so far. How helpful has that been? What's it been like here, your first 8 games, getting to play some consistent regular minutes?
It's super exciting. Obviously, dreamt of this moment and playing on the court and trying to compete against these guys. And how is it helpful? It's just the experience is what helps. Just getting on the court every rep will just allow me to kind of keep getting comfortable, keep getting more confident on the floor.
You didn't play in the first game, then you played 30 minutes in the second game. I'm wondering what that NBA debut was like. Not only the first time you hit the floor, I'm sure a dream realized there, but you're also in at the end of the game and you're making some big plays in what was a close game.
I was just so focused on the game. I kind of just forgot about all the outside noise in the moment. I kind of just focused on the hoop and how it can impact the game on both sides of the court, and that allowed me to kind of be free out there, be comfortable.
Your first NBA road trip, you had the preseason experience, but a real road trip, 5 games, 11 or 9 days maybe. What are your thoughts coming back home and getting back acclimated and resting up? Did you feel like it wore you out a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. It's different. It's something where you got to prepare your body, your mind for, and it's going to be a long season, so we're just getting started. So it was a good kind of first feel, and I'm excited to get back in front of these good fans and see if we can get some wins at home.
During the road trip, I asked you, I think at one time, about playing off the ball, because during training camp, most of the time it felt like you were running as maybe third point guard when everyone was healthy. And then we saw you playing a lot alongside Tyrese, alongside T.J. McConnell, and you said, I've done that my whole life. You're comfortable in either role.
100%. I feel like I can make plays on and off the ball. I can guard multiple positions, which allows me to play beside those other point guards. So if I can pass, dribble, shoot, impact the game and winning, I don't see why I can't play off the ball going forward.
I know you're only a few weeks here into your rookie season, but when you go from the college game to the pro game, there's obviously many different areas that are different or perhaps more challenging. Jeremiah referenced the road trip. Is that one of them? Like these 5-game road trips, you just aren't away from home as long, and is that an adjustment?
Definitely. Literally the biggest adjustment for me is understanding when you got to get your sleep, when you got to kind of keeping the priorities, and not kind of getting caught up in meeting a certain friend in certain cities, kind of taking your time, understanding you need to get your body right for the next game because it's coming quick, and you never know when you're going to get in the game for 30 or 0 or 2 or 10, and it might be a big moment, it might not, but you got to impact winning when you're in the game.
That initial game that you played in, it wasn't the first game that you played wearing a Pacers jersey, but it was the first game that counted, if you will. I'm wondering if the experience in terms of the speed of the game, everything that you hear about the NBA, has it been about what you expected? Is that step up been what you envisioned?
Yeah, I think it has, because I've gotten, luckily playing with the national team, playing with kind of some NBA players in the past, I've gotten a little feel of what it's kind of like. And I think the biggest difference for me right now is that length, athleticism, just understanding the windows are not as big as they were in college to make those certain passes I want to make. And just understanding what shots to take, what shots to kind of are going to be good for the team and comfortable for myself. And I think I've done a good job of just easing my way into that.
Wanted to go back in time a little bit to Gonzaga and the COVID year and the tournament in Indianapolis. I didn't realize this until recently. I started putting 2 and 2 together, that you got to spend a lot of time here during that tournament run. What was that like?
It was different. I wouldn't even say I spent time here because I was just in that one hotel the whole time. So it was an experience. But I mean, I just remember from that tournament, it was a great run for us. I really enjoyed my time against Gonzaga. We enjoyed it together, kind of got through it. Fortunately came a little short, but got to experience the city a little bit.
Well, you played the maximum number of games, but I'm wondering, you guys were solely focused on winning a championship, and there may be some other teams that made, unlikely runs, and they would go to a game thinking, am I going to be let out of the bubble and be able to go back home. It had to be weird emotions going to a game knowing I might stay here in my hotel room for another couple days or maybe another week, or I might be headed home.
Yeah, 100%. I think with that group we had, it was different. We were just running through teams all year. We felt so confident going into the tournament. We had a lot of older guys who got a lot of minutes, got a lot of experience. So I think our whole thing was like championship or bust, honestly, at that point. And I think we were real confident against that game. And I think a couple things didn't go our way that night, but I think another night we're in that game, we're winning that game. So it just is what it is.
Just as a follow-up, then when you're drafted by the Pacers, did you think back to that? It's like, well, I spent about a month in Indianapolis anyways, or you really couldn't identify with the city at all because, as you said, it was just that hotel room.
Yeah, I couldn't really identify with it much, so I didn't really have too much thoughts with that coming back. But I've gotten to know the city a lot more now, so I'm loving it so far.
I think we're to the point where Gonzaga now might be in the top 5 of schools with the most pros in the NBA. I'm wondering what that Gonzaga in the NBA kind of relationship is like, both the players that you played with, Suggs, for example. Are you guys close? Is that kind of a tight-knit group now that Gonzaga has become really the powerhouse that it's turned into over the last 5 to 10 years?
100%. I think like the one thing every college team wants to talk about, we're a family, we're a group, we're a culture. I think Gonzaga is the one team that really does it right and really has a consistent following and guys coming back and supporting the new teams. And I'm so happy I'm a part of it. And I got to see my guy Corey Kispert the other day. So I'm going to see all these guys throughout the year. We're real close. And we're just going to keep kind of growing together in this league, hopefully.
You only know your own experience, which is the 4 years in college and then going into the NBA, which is different from what Benedict's doing. It's very different from what Kendall's doing. But how do you feel like college prepared you for this?
I think the ability. I heard C.J. McConnell say this recently. Like me being able to play a lot of different roles and throughout my 4 years, whether it was just a freshman who was kind of PG, kind of getting guys involved, whereas as I got older, I was scoring the ball a lot more of a vocal leader, kind of trying to get the group to come together. I think set me up really well for this level where you can, as you said, I can come in the game for 30 minutes, have the ball in my hand a lot maybe, make plays and try to lead a little bit. But other games, I might just have to catch and shoot, play a lot of defense and help the team in those types of ways. And I think that prepared me a lot for just understanding the full picture of things and not just trying to be selfish and looking at my own game all the time.
Another flashback question. In the NFL, we always hear about the combine. I don't think we talk about it in the NBA as much, but Kevin Pritchard made a point that after watching you at the combine, it did feel like that you really jumped higher on their radar. What do you remember about being in Chicago, and was that a big moment for you to stand out against other future pros?
100%. I think going to Chicago, I was super confident about my game, about the work I put in my game the month going in towards it. I had to sit out through an injury my first game, and I was just watching. And I just knew I could come in and make an impact, a big impact that could hopefully push me forward. And that's what I did when I went the next day and just was aggressive, stuck to my game. And I think a lot of people in the league saw that and had a little more confidence in me possibly getting picked higher in the draft.
It's one thing, Summer League, you're already on a team. There are guys that are trying to earn spots in Summer League, but when you're in that pre-draft combine mode, are you thinking, all right, I got to finish this game with at least a certain number of points to stand out, but I also want to make the winning plays and help my team win? Or are you able to just play basketball and hope everything takes care of itself?
I think for me, like my game is so naturally just a winner's game. Like I think I just come on the court, I naturally make winning plays. So I think that stuff will solve itself. I think for me, it's just about having that aggressive mindset to score the ball first, and everything else will kind of fall into place for me. And I think that's what I did. I was aggressive going into that game, as well as communicate, talk, show my leadership, and just let everything kind of fall into place.
Andrew Nembhard is here with us on the Sideline Guys, powered by Gainbridge. A reminder, if you're listening to our audio podcast, that we hope to have a few of these up via video this year on the Pacers YouTube channel, and you can watch the video version of this. Just head on over to YouTube. As you talk about the draft process, so many guys have first-round draft pick as a goal. But at the same point, sometimes you'll hear guys that go early second round say, well, this is actually a better opportunity for me. I get to a situation where I can play, I can be on the floor more often my rookie year. Was being a first rounder a goal for you? Do you feel like being an early second rounder was perhaps advantageous?
100%. I think it's a great question. I think being like first round was 100% my goal. I was a little disappointed maybe on draft night, just not going as high as I wanted. I had a couple of teams I thought was possibly going to pick me, but looking at it in hindsight, I think this is the best place for me. Like, I really feel like I fit in well with what we're trying to do on both sides of the floor. I think there's an opportunity for me to kind of come in and fight for a position, fight for minutes. And in the end of the day, I'm so glad I came here. It's a basketball environment. I get to lock in. Indiana's a great city for just hoops in general.
Take me through your relationship. I want to ask about a couple of guys, but we'll start with Tyrese Haliburton. What have you learned from him? You guys are basically the same age, but what have you learned from him, I guess, so far as somebody who's had a couple of years of NBA experience under his belt? You guys are built the same. You're both cerebral type players. You're both path first. I assume you see a lot of each other in yourselves.
100%. I see the similarities in our game, and I think the biggest thing I've just tried to do is just observe him and how he goes about everything and how he's super smart, super knowledgeable when he talks about the game. And I just want to pick his brain and just observe and see how he's going about things, see if I can implement certain things into my game or anything like that.
And then T.J. McConnell is another guy. You know, Halliburton's going to perhaps lead the league in assists. If not, he's going to be right up at the top. And McConnell's somebody that doesn't get maybe the minutes to do that, but when you talk about assists per minute on the floor, he's always up there as well. I guess how helpful is it for you to have a couple of guys that see the floor as well as they do for a player like yourself that envisions himself as that type of point guard?
Yeah, it's great because the game is so different from college to the NBA. So just finding out certain ways of how I can be effective at this level. Those guys have been effective for a while. So I can just see those things and implement into my game. But on the other side, they're just good dudes. Like they care about my development. They want me to get better. Both of them are super encouraging and confident in my ability. So they've made my life very comfortable and very easy here.
Back to Tyrese. Don't take this as a negative because I don't think either one of you should, but both of your shots could be called unorthodox a little bit, the way you shoot, your form. When did you learn to shoot like that? And has anyone ever tried to get you to change? Because I'm going to say leave it alone as accurate as you are.
I just think that's a bad narrative, to be honest. Like, if you really look at my shot, it's pretty normal. I have a good flick. I have a good guy. And I think it's just a little bit low of a release. That's why people say that. But it went down at 38% last year. So you can say whatever they want.
Don't change it at all.
Tyrese shoots 40 plus.
So maybe everyone should.
I mean, do what works for you.
Exactly. Well, then I'll ask about another player is Benedict Mathurin. You guys are going to be tied together for a long time being a part of this same rookie class, and you're kind of tied together this season because you've probably got to share rookie duties. How's that been going for you?
It's been good. Ben's young boy, so he gets my donuts, you know what I'm saying? but I'll play. It's been cool. Those guys don't have too many tasks for us. Just little stuff. It's part of it. So I'm just trying to take it with my head down.
So in the past, we have seen country. I don't know, equipment manager Josh Condor. If you don't sort of follow the rules, there has been some repercussions. I don't know if you heard about popcorn in the car.
Definitely heard. That's not happening to me. That's not. I'm making sure I'm doing my stuff. If I feel popcorn in my car, I'm not going to be happy.
Okay.
But I'm good.
How are the veterans with the rookie duties? And it kind of strikes me, we've asked these type of questions to rookies over the years, but you're probably pretty close to like the median age of this group. The Pacers are so young. That kind of has to be a unique dynamic in itself. Yes, you're a rookie. Yes, you have to do your rookie duties. But with a group this young, do you even feel, I guess, like one of the youngest guys?
I don't necessarily feel like a young guy on the squad, but I feel new for sure. This is all different to me. And I know it's a part of it. I got to serve to get to that level, so it's all good.
Are they tough on you? Are they easy on you? I mean, like, what were you expecting and what are you dealing with?
They're easy. I've heard stories of other guys throughout the league that are much worse. So I think these guys they keep it easy on us.
You talked about Ben Mathurin there a little bit and Kendall as well. What's been the camaraderie? And I know he's spending some time and will continue to with the Mad Ants, but what's the dynamic of this group? Because you're all kind of in different scenarios. You come in as one of the more experienced rookies. Ben had a couple of years of college and Kendall's very young. What's that dynamic like between the three of you?
The dynamic's really good, man. All three of us get along real well. We're all going through the same thing, kind of struggles of just playing a different role in a new city with new guys, kind of a business now, not as much as a college kind of feel. So we're all going through the same things. So we've gotten real close. I think Ben's a guy who has so much potential, and I think he's just going to keep getting better with the confidence he has. KB is a guy who's, in my opinion, super underrated, going to be a good player in this league, and he could really just make simple plays and connect the group and play hard and make an impact. I think those guys are going to be really good.
This is a coaching staff that's really hands-on. I'm watching practice, I'm watching shoot-arounds, and you're constantly, spending time looking at film, going over things. Is there a coach that's really taken you under their wing a little bit as you've kind of joined the team?
I think all the coaches have done a great job with all of us, and especially me, just making me feel comfortable, giving me pointers on how to get better. But I wouldn't say one stands out in front of anybody.
Do you remember watching Ron in college? I mean, you were probably. Does he tell you stories about Butler and their Final Four runs?
I thought Ron played JUCO.
They're going to pull that quote out and make it real big.
Yeah. He's a defensive guy.
Defensive guy.
No jumper. I just leave it at that.
He's getting the hang of this. He's kind of, throwing some zingers in there.
Ron gets it. Right?
We'll see if Ron. Well, I guess we'll find out real quickly if Ron watches or listens to the Sideline Guys.
Yeah, I mean, twice playing a national championship game, but
you played twice in the national championship game.
Yeah.
Jeez. Props to Ron, man. My bad. Yeah. That's respect.
It has been such a blitz to start the season. We talked about the 8 games in 13 days. So you haven't had really a whole lot of time to do this. But when you have some downtime, obviously there's a big part of being an NBA player is getting the rest and recovery that's necessary. But what else do you like to do when you have some free time?
Man, I haven't been doing too much. I just kind of like to connect with family. I play the game a little bit, not much though. Watching hoops a lot lately. I love doing that, watching sports. But connect with family, chill with these guys. I've been finding stuff to do in my time.
As we're recording this here, we're in this little 3-day stretch between games. I mean, how vital has it been after having such a start to the season that was as busy as it is to have a few days to just kind of be able to relax? And I know you had a pretty tough practice today, so it's not all relaxing, but to just kind of have a moment where you can exhale both physically and mentally.
It's great. That was a good start to our season, and these next couple of weeks is kind of a little bit slower, which will be good for us to kind of gear up for the real stretches of the season. I think I'm feeling good though. I'm young. I'm new to this, so it's not like I'm dragged down by it. I'm excited about getting out there and going to all these places and playing in these new arenas and playing against all these competitions. So I'm excited.
Final thing for me, we're a stretch of I think 8 of 10 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. You had a practice, on the main court today, and you've had the first week. So what's it like playing at home, and how much can the home crowd really boost this team into November?
The home crowd is excited, man. The first time I stepped out of Fan Jam, I was a little surprised of how good the crowd was, and I know that when we're going winning runs in the game, we're playing well, it gets real loud in there. So we just want to bring the competitive level, bring the energy, and hope they follow with us. I was excited. Someone
that really plays into the crowd is McConnell, right? Pat already asked you about him, but you've seen him make plays and go to the crowd and get everybody fired up.
To him, he starts it off. That's my guy.
Is there anybody that you kind of look up to in the NBA and say, he's a guy that plays like my style, that I kind of try to emulate, that maybe one day I can be in a similar position to him?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. If there's one guy I could do the same exact thing. I think throughout the draft process, a lot of people were saying Tyus Jones, but I could see the similarities in the offensive side of the ball. I think I don't want to pinpoint one guy yet, though.
As you look here early in your rookie season, do you have goals set? Are there tangible items that perhaps you have written down that at the end of the year you want to be able to hit, that you'll call this a successful season?
No, honestly, I don't. I think I'm going into this with an open mind to take every next thing and kind of deal with it when it comes. And I think as a second-round pick coming into your rookie season, you shouldn't have too much expectations of what you're going to do. You just want to get on the court, play hard, and let that do the talking and see how that plays out. So I just want to keep making winning plays, help the team.
Final question here. I'm sure as a rookie, as an NBA player, you have to be so focused on the right now. So this might not be something that you've even really considered very much, but I know it's something the fan base thinks a lot about. You've got this young, talented core group and what they could be over the years. I mean, have you thought about the fact that this is potentially stage one of something that could be really special over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years?
100%. It looks super exciting, and it's looking in the long run. It's something I want to be a part of, and I want to just continue to build this group. And I like the energy we have. I like the camaraderie we have, and we'll see what we can do with it.
Well, Andrew, congrats on a great start here to your rookie season, and best of luck as it continues.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, guys.
All right, that'll wrap it up for this week's Sideline Guys, powered by Gainbridge.